Welcome. In this video, we're going to use the graphs of y equals g of x here in orange and y equals f of x in blue to find the first derivative of this function h evaluated when x equals 1, given that h is equal to f of g of x squared. So the first thing you always want to do is find a formula representing the derivative, and that's namely h prime of x that we're looking for. So step 1 here, h prime of x is equal to the derivative of the outermost function, which is f. So that's f prime. And we leave the inside the same, so g of x squared. And then we're going to multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. And the the inner one immediately after f is g of x squared. Okay, so this is f prime of g of x squared times g prime of x squared. And now there is one more inner function, and that's x squared, and we want to multiply by the derivative here on the outside. So h prime of x is equal to f prime of g of x squared times g prime of x squared times 2x. And I'm going to rewrite that one more time, just so it looks a little neater. So this is 2x times f prime of g of x squared times g prime of x squared. So h prime of 1 is what we're looking for now. So now the second step is evaluate h prime of x, and that's the formula you found in step 1 when x equals 1 in this case. So let's do that here. So h prime of 1 is equal to 1 times f prime of g of 1 squared times g prime of 1 squared. So h prime of 1 is equal to 2 times f prime. Well, 1 squared is just 1, and g evaluated at 1. Let's find x equals 1 here, and to make it clear, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So when x equals 1, let's look up and find g. Here's g. The output of g is equal to 1. So we want f prime of 1 times, and now we want the derivative here of g evaluated at 1. So let's ask ourselves, when x equals 1, what is the slope of this curve? If you said 0, you're correct. Notice that the tangent line here, it would be a horizontal line, so g prime of 1 is equal to 0. So we're going to multiply this by 0, and at this point, we don't really need to find what f prime of 1 is since we're multiplying this by 0. This means h prime of 1 is equal to just 0. Now, as an FYI, if you wanted to evaluate the derivative of f at 1, you would look at this function f for when x equals 1 and find the slope of this line. Since f is linear here, the slope of the tangent line is the same as the slope at f, which looks like it's rise 3 over 1, so just 3.